Okay, everybody, we're back
Again.
So, as I mentioned, we're in the school, and sometimes the reception in the school may not be as good as we need it to be, but we wanted to go ahead and bring you the live broadcast. So, again, let's just recap a little bit. Right now, tonight, we're sharing what Austin-East proposed to the TSSAA so that our ban can be reconsidered in June. And so there was a meeting on this evening, and we're here at the school sharing the 12 things that were proposed to the TSSAA, and we're very proud of our administrators for going down there. They set a new precedence. TSSAA has never overturned an original ruling. This will be the first time. So they're saying, yes, this was such a good plan. If we do these 12 things, that in June, they could lift the ban. And so just a quick summary, when we got cut off and disconnected, I believe we were on number 6. So number 1, there will be mandatory meetings for the parents, coaches, and administrators for all sports prior to their season to let you know what's expected. Number 2, in athletic areas, the gym or whatever, there will be visibly posted our core values. And so everybody's going to know what's expected of them, and they're also going to pass out literature that'll be given to the fans, parents, everybody. So you can't say you didn't know what's expected when you come to our gym, our field, or whatever. 2 officers will always attend away games along with members of the AE staff. And we've already had a pretty good plan in place when we have our home games. But now we're adding an extra layer and making sure that we have people there for the away games. There will also be meetings in which the schools will get together. So if we go play somebody, we're going to ask them, what's your security plan? You know, how many officers do you have? What is your strategy and all of that? So we're excited about that. We have a pretty good plan at Austin-East, and we've actually never had an incident.
Right.
And when we talk about, for instance, when our coach said they didn't want to play us because of safety, we had 2 games there at their field, and we lost, and there was no incident.
And nothing happened.
So that was kind of, you know, they just didn't want to play us because it was going to hurt their ranking, because as you know, Austin-East this year, at the time of the incident, we were ranked number 3 in the state. And so we have an appeal. And actually another thing, we set a precedence for TSSAA, but also they are looking at changing the bylaws so that if you are a school in our district, you can't choose not to play us. It has to be, you know, inclement weather or some other serious emergency for that. Now we were on number 6, the one we had asked you to turn your volume up. Make sure you're paying real close attention. Any fan that goes onto the floor will be banned for a year. That's 365 days. Banned. Okay? So we need to make sure that we're good role models and setting good examples. But after that year, you can come and say you're sorry and that you're not going to do it again. And then we probably let you come back.
And then they'll review it.
And they'll review it.
They might let you come back.
They're going to let them come back.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They might not want to come back. Don't do that if your child is a senior now. Like, for real. Don't be out there acting a fool. And you know you ain't going to get to see them play the rest of the year. Just chill out.
Chill out. So, number 7, all players who receive technical fouls will be reviewed. So, if you get a tech, and we know that there are differences in refs and what they consider to be techs or not, but if you get a tech, they will review the tech, and if you're found guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct or behavior, you got to sit out the next 2 games. And that goes for all players in all of our sports. Okay, so we're on number 7 now, and again, I'm going to post these after we finish discussing them because we're just giving you a brief summary. We're still at Austin-East, so y'all know it's been a long day, but we're trying to get this out for you. Yeah, it does mean acting according. That's right. All right, so number 8, players that are guilty of fighting will be expelled from the team. Now, you notice on number 7, I said that they would have to sit out 2 games. I want to make sure we understand expelled means they are kicked out. If you get caught fighting, you are expelled, and it's a period behind it. Right? No ifs, ands, or buts. So that's where we have to put some strategies in place, some reaction strategies, as somebody mentioned. Let's see, you don't like the rule, that's extreme number 7. Oh, about the technical foul. So the technical foul just says they'll review it. So some of the texts we know, refs just calls based on an opinion. But if they review that tech and it shows that you had some unsportsmanlike conduct or behaviors, then you have to sit out 2 games, right? So they're only going to do that if you're really guilty of going against this plan that we have in place, because we're putting our whole athletic program in jeopardy. And again, they set a precedence that's never been done before to have this ban lifted. And so we want to make sure that everybody's in place for that. So,
you're welcome. We're welcome, Sandy. We know a lot of people couldn't make the meeting,
right? And
so we thought we would just share what the 12 steps was for them to be able to get their postseason play, going next year.
And are they going to have a student council for sports or in general?
She also said, would it be an administration review as far as the technicals? Did they say that?
Yes, it's by the Austin-East administration. So we're not actually letting somebody else come and determine it. The administrators at the school are going to determine if they exhibited unsportsmanlike conduct. So, all right. Now, that put us back again to number 8. If you get caught fighting, you're expelled. So, I think that's okay. But
yeah,
we got to put some things in place, because if somebody hits you,
I know
they're not going to do that.
What are you supposed to do?
We're going to prevent them from hopefully, when we talk about good sportsmanlike conduct, we're hoping it spreads across the board. And I'm going to interject right here. One of the things I suggested, if you are familiar with our Little League sports, you know that the unsportsmanlike conduct does not begin when they get to high school. And when I say high school, the reason I didn't say Austin-East in particular is because I don't think that we've done anything that other schools haven't done. In fact, we got an award for good sportsmanship 2 years ago. So I think we have had good plans in place, but some of the culture of the unsportsmanlike conduct starts in our Little League. And so we're hoping that coaches that coach our Little League and parents start adopting good sportsmanlike conduct as well. What did Denzel say?
He said reaction plans for number 8.
Yeah, that's what we need to find out how we can help our kids avoid getting into a physical confrontation. And that's not always easy, right? Because sometimes your emotions lead before your mind. And so that's, just happens. So number 9, the boys basketball team will be limited to a 12-man travel roster. And number 10, they will continue to make announcements. And we've done this. Like I said, a lot of the things are going to be easy because we've done them.
Right.
Some of the other things are more proactive and spreading the message among the community and really saying this is what our sportsmanlike conduct looks like, period. This is what we're going to do. This is who we are. And we're going to be the leaders in this, I think. And so they will continue to make announcements at the beginning of games that stress our proper conduct, mainly of the fans. And if you missed it, the reason we actually ended up in the predicament had nothing to do with the players. It was the fans' response. They also saw, and I think the reason that they accepted this was that many of our fans were actually attempting to break up the mess that was going out on the floor. What did Cynthia say?
She said set a higher standard of expectations off the court before they are allowed on the court.
Oh, yes, that was brought up. Will a 12-man travel limitation include the camera crew? I don't know, Janae. We're going to have to ask that. But, yes, it was brought up. If we establish proper discipline on the front end, then we may not have some of these issues when they get to the court. So, in other words, if our coaching staff and our school has a discipline policy where players know that, what their behaviors, the expectations for that, then they're not going to do some of the things. I mean, and that's just being honest. And, of course, we can go back and say a lot of what we should have done, but I'm very proud that we have a good plan in place now. But, yeah, discipline is definitely going to start on the front end, and that's where parents can be involved as well. They didn't mention to play it smart, but I know that they are looking for a very good plan of training. And one of the things is fact number 11, the next one, all coaches will attend a summer training. So they're looking for a vendor as far as sportsmanship, and they're going to attend that training in the summer and then be expected to implement whatever strategies and share that in the mandatory meetings that we'll have with the parents, coaches, and administrators before every...
You have a text message.
I have a text message. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Excuse me, everybody. All right. Number 12, here's the last one. If allowed, as a show of sportsmanship, the coach of Brainerd and the coach of Austin-East will have their players participate in large community service tasks together. So we'll have one home and one away. And that will show, and as we said, they didn't know those people from Adams House Cat. I found out that a lot of players from our school and their school actually are on social media together. It was not really the kids that got us to this point. And I'm going to leave that right there for you to think about. But in an effort to show that we can get along, and I think, and they believe, the one thing that really made TSSAA reconsider was this one, that we're going to come together, both teams and a community, and do community service to say, hey, we can get along. We can do good things. This was an isolated incident that happened. It was unfortunate, but we're going to move past it. And here are some plans for us to do that.
Okay, and Jeff, our classmate, said he wanted us to repeat number 7. Number 7 is all players receiving technical fouls will be reviewed by the Austin-East Magnet High School administration, and players found guilty of unsportsmanlike or unbecoming behavior will have to sit out the next 2 upcoming contests according to TSSAA guidelines. That means if you get a technical, that's not the end of it. They're going to review it, and then if they see that you were actually guilty of it, then you'll have to sit out the next two games.
Yeah. I like number 12, but y'all know I like community service, so I think it's a good idea for all of our students to be involved in some opportunity that gives back to the community anyway.
Right.
But to build a bridge that crosses city lines, I think is even more powerful. I think Pam talked again before about how other people seem to stick together.
Right.
So if we can build a bigger community where we have our kids and their kids, our parents and their parents, our community and their community, show we're not what the media says we are. And yes, we've had a rivalry, but like I said, that's like in all sports. It's not an intentional thing where I don't think we hate each other or anything like that. I think we can come together. And again, it was not the kids that brought us to this point. It was the fans. So, are there any other questions about these 12 things, which I am going to post after we finish our broadcast? I do want to, hopefully all of you, if you haven't yet, plan to visit www.talkingwitht.com. You know, we do new shows on Monday. And all I want to say is that if you happen to listen to today's show, you're going to start praying for Pam. Like,
I am clutching my imaginary
I really almost couldn't get myself together because it was ridiculous. But we don't want to duplicate what we talked about on the show and what we're going to talk about here tonight. They recommend community service at the Love Kitchen. That's great. One of the suggestions tonight that I think they're going to follow is for the kids to plan it. So they're going to maybe put the kids together and let them generate some ideas. The last game of the season is tomorrow at 7:30. Be there. And we've already said we're going to have to split because that's also the strategic planning meeting. And somebody needs to be there. Because if they're going to make decisions for our kids, somebody needs to represent us. So I'm going to start off at Vine. And then I'm going to slither and slide on back over here to Austin-East. And then Pam has a senior son. So she'll be here at Austin-East. It's senior night. We're playing Beard, and it's a good game. They're ranked number 1 in the state. So this ought to be a good game. So we definitely want people to show support. Now, look, if you can't go to Vine, there is a way online, if you go to the Knox County website, that you can give your input. But I still think some of us need to show up at Vine at 6 o'clock, and we should be able to make it over here as well. So we want you to show support on both fronts.
Right.
Before we go tonight, we had mentioned that OBC had their anniversary, their 15-year anniversary.
Yes, it was yesterday.
Pam was in attendance.
And we had Dorothy Norwood there and Chris Blue.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody knows Chris Blue, even though he's, had crossed over secular, he was raised in the church and he's very anointed. And if you know Dorothy Norwood says she just is...
How old is Dorothy Norwood?
82. She said she just put out her 54th, she said album, 54th album. So that's some longevity in the Christian world.
Yeah, it is.
And they were saying that her and Shirley Caesar and some other woman used to sing together, and they said church would never stop. Can you imagine them two just singing?
You need a tent and some beanie weenies.
Yes.
But anyway, Pam went to the service, and where was I? Oh, I was in class. We'll talk about that later.
She was in class.
But Pam went, and we have already talked to Pam, and Jay is working on a brochure called The Holy Ghoster. For those who are new to the world of Holy Ghosting, is that a word? Holy Ghosting?
Holy Ghosting.
If you're new to Holy Ghosting, we're working on a brochure with some support from Professor Jay, but Pam went to the concert, and we had already talked to her. We had some plans in place, much like the plans we have here at Austin-East, for what to happen when you go to the altar. Now, Pam, what happened?
Yeah,
Why?
when you go to the altar, because people, like we had said previously, people go to the altar, and sometimes they catch the Holy Ghost, and they put the hands on you, and then next thing you know, you're in the floor. You don't know why, but it hits you, and you're in the floor. So, previously, I had been... and I was in the floor. So, and I just didn't...
Yes, Cynthia, she went to the altar again.
I looked up at you, and you was like this. So I said, Cynthia, look down here. I'm down here again. But you was like... So I said, she gonna leave her. I didn't know if you dozed off or you took a nap or what. She was like that for a very long time. But anyways, I said, so...
Jeffrey, she hit the floor again.
So...
we already had a plan in place. Go ahead, Pam.
I tried not to hit the floor. I see Pastor Orner going around with his people, and they're touching everybody. I'm doing like this. Don't touch me. But here comes Sister Dorothy Norwood. So I couldn't run from her. So that was it. But then I'm wondering. I'm down there again. And I'm wondering...
on the floor, y'all. Now, we done been through this.
Covered up.
They covered you up again, too?
They covered you up.
Okay. She down the floor, covered up.
So I'm wondering, I still don't know how long you stay down there.
That's the big question.
Cynthia, you didn't go to the floor.
You got to have a plan in place. If you go to the floor, there needs to be a plan in place for how and when you going to get up.
When you go. So I looked, I'm peeking again because I've been down there for a while. I'm thinking, do they go in alphabetical order? I'm C. I just don't know. So then finally I get up and it takes my child. He was like, Mama, why'd you go? He said he was cracking up on the inside. And I'm thinking, what are you laughing for? I should have took him up the ducking and dodge. Sit there, I was like that. You ain't gonna get me today.
This nut said, did they call people up in alphabetical order? Did y'all?
I'm not going back to the altar.
No, we don't want you not to go to the altar. We just want to be able to help you through the experience.
Yeah, because this is new to me. So we're going, hands on and catching the spirit.
And when we finish our edition of the Holy Ghost, we're gonna make that free and available to the public.
Yes, Jay is gonna. I don't know where is Jay tonight.
I don't know. He probably wore out. But hey. One of the things I'm going to ask y'all to do is we started last night
Cynthia, they sure were. It was, people was laying
going down. They were going down all over the place.
All over the place.
Like y'all was Jim Jones drinking that Kool-Aid.
That's what it looked like.
For real?
The grape Kool-Aid. People was laying on the chairs. They was up there on the pulpit. They was in the floor. They just crawled
through the...
That's what I had to do. I had to do it then because I got up and some girl had rolled over on me. And I was like... Then I got up and I was like, oh... Gotta get up from down here, but it was a wonderful service. If you weren't there, you truly missed it. If you ever heard Dorothy Norwood sing and Chris Blue, oh my gosh! And then he had to leave and go somewhere else. If he didn't have a prior engagement,
y'all still be there right now. She wouldn't be on here right now with us tonight because she would still be there.
I still be there, right in the
covered
floor.
Up at the altar,
in the floor. Yeah,
waiting for them to get to the seas.
Waiting for them to say, "That's what they should do." Everybody, get up.
Okay. But one of the things we need is some help with describing people who are income taxing. Now, I put a post on today, and we started it on the show, and Pam and Jay helped me out a little bit. But if you all have any characteristics for people who are tell them what income tax is, first of all. Y'all can share it here or go to the post.
Income tax, when people get the income tax and they get income taxing, we've all done been there. In my younger days, boy, you couldn't tell me nothing about income tax. I thought that was balling. Then as you get older, you realize, that don't last your whole life. So you gotta think about what I'm gonna do with this.
Right. Who walked the pews? I'm sorry, I done left income tax. See, who walked the pews?
Dorothy Norwood. Remember I sent you the picture?
You just told me she was 82?
Yeah, I said she was 82 and she'd have had 2 knee surgeries. I said she is walking the pews. I said they better get Dorothy down for Dorothy.
What?
Hurt herself. I bet Dorothy was sitting in Epsom salt last night. Because I done popped my buttons off my shirt, so I know Dorothy was. No, she was just beat to the gods.
All right, y'all. So we're not gonna stay on here too long tonight. Hopefully you were here for the first part where we shared the 12 things that Austin-East is going to implement to increase our sportsmanship, the things that set a precedence for TSSAA to overturn the ruling in June. We're going to come together. We're going to get this done. Jeffrey Lancaster said, you income taxi if you do get income tax, please buy some insurance.
Ooh. Oh, thank you, Brenda. Yes, please buy some life insurance because that is not what GoFundMe's are for.
She get ready to get sensitive, y'all.
No, we need David Jones on here because she will really give you the business about
GoFundMe isn't for life insurance.
GoFundMe is not for life insurance, and you don't want that burden on your family. You want to have some life. Now, that's true. You want some life insurance so you don't have that when you pass. You don't want that burden put on your family. Because having, at the corner, the 4-way stop, fish fries, all that. Just life insurance is really not that much. If you need some, go see David Jones. She's on Facebook. Probably Jane DeRange. I think that may be her name. She might be back in David Jones.
And my grandparents, what they used to do is go and actually to the funeral home and pay little payments. Yeah. And by the time something happened, everything was paid for. Yeah. So you can do it however you want to do it, but Pam said it wasn't me. Pam said that's not what GoFundMe is for. So we suggesting that we're going to post a 12-step plan, Cynthia. Like I was telling people, here it is right here. But y'all can't see this, can you?
No.
So I'm going to take a picture of it or type it up and post it for everybody so that you can actually review it.
Of these?
What we going to do? Stand in the corner and give them out? Like
if you see me or anything.
Oh, there's plenty of copies at the school. You can come on and do that. Now, what's this one right here say? Oh, yeah, the wealth of our kids, no debt.
Right, no debt because, and then I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Bill collectors still be wanting their money after somebody passes. Be like, okay, I don't think I could be a bill collector and I call somebody and they tell me somebody deceased and I say, well, are you going to make up a payment arrangement to pay it? I probably would just say, I'd lose my job because I'd be like, you know what, that just seems so heartless to me to keep calling somebody over somebody's dead.
Do they do that?
Yes, they do.
But how can you owe the money if you did?
They still they still be trying to call people. It's just heartless, I hang up on them and I'm living.
Said pass out copies at the game. That makes sense. So I'm going to ask Mr. Langlois. We'll make sure we have some copies available at the game.
Very good.
I'm going to scan it, take a picture, and upload it, and then for those that are coming to the game, we'll try to make sure we have some copies there too. And KUB has to be paid. Now, Pam said, I'm going to give y'all a hint. I really want y'all to listen to the show, but I'm going to give y'all a hint about being income tax. What'd you say, in February? You balling.
You balling.
Come back on camera. Where you at?
No, read this.
Well, bring it over here.
I can't remember what I said.
Well, I remember.
They have to listen to the show.
Okay.
We have to listen to the show. Tune in to TalkingWithT.com, and there are several ways you can listen to the show if you want to hear more about income tax, if you want to hear about
Dennis Edwards,
Quincy
if
Jones.
You want to hear about
Quincy Jones, we talk about all that. We spilling the tea.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of straight no chaser. Go to Talk.
Don said if people are deceased, they can write the debt off. I wish somebody would, because y'all know Mama Lou. I don't even know what she got. I wish somebody would call me talking about, we going to still pay something.
Right.
That ain't going to happen. But GoFundMe is not for life insurance. So I'm got a little piece of change. I'm going to leave my family. But listen, family, if you on here, if you know them, tell them do not pay any bills with it. I'm going to try not to leave many. Really. You know, I plan because we got to start thinking ahead like other people do. I'm going to try not to leave them any bills. But when I do leave a little piece of change for you, do not pay anything. Them student loans, Sally Mae, my tombstone going to say, here lies Tanisha Baker and Sally Mae. Let that loan die with me. Okay? Do not pay Sally Mae with my life insurance.
Nothing.
No.
Forget her.
Yeah.
Forget her. And we're going to have a wonderful Easter broadcast. Y'all just wait. Y'all just wait.
Yeah, we're not going to let the cat out the bag. But I'm very excited.
We got
something special for you.
Something special for you. For Easter bunnies.
All right, so we about ready to call this a night.
I think we are. I don't guess nobody else has anything else to say. Hey, Jeff, thank you.
Brian, why you late? The whole broadcast almost over.
And Brian, why are you not never with us? Why?
What happened to champagne conversations?
No, cocktail conversations.
Cocktail conversations?
Brian, when you gonna
Instead of cocktail, look what we had. We had Coke conversations.
Brian,
Coca-Cola,
Brian,
is.
when you going to do your cocktail conversations? People are waiting. You know, you put it out there. People said they support you.
Wait, she said get a will, otherwise it would go to probate.
That's true.
Who, my money?
Huh?
What's going to go to probate?
Everything.
My change?
Your coins.
My coins going to go to probate. I got me a little will. Oh, you eating gummy worms. Well, we're going to have to bring you in next time. We're waiting on you.
We're going to have to, Brian, we're going to have to get up on that.
Mom had a will and still had to go.
That's sad.
My estate. What is? I got 3 dogs
and a kid
and a car.
Yeah.
I mean, my estate might not be worth much, but whatever it is, you're right. I don't want probate, whoever that is, to get it.
He said he can't be in the school. No, this is only a one-time thing.
No,
we were just here for the meeting. Usually, we are at her house or somewhere. We won't be in the school.
Yeah, we were at the meeting, so we.
If you do your cocktail conversation, we will make
allowances for that. Yeah,
for you somewhere where you can have your drinks. So just let us know. Time is ticking.
Well, as we say on Talking with T, that's it for this bit. Can't wait to get back with you next time, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Yep, everybody share the video if you can, and tell everyone about Talking with T.
All right. Peace.
Peace.